The Valentine's Day Massacre, an epic of gang warfare. The Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929 remains one of the most infamous events of the Prohibition era, illustrating the brutal lengths to which rival gangs would go to control the illegal alcohol trade in the United States. This massacre was the culmination of a vicious gang war between the North Side Gang, led by George Bugs Moran, and the South Side Gang, under the iron grip of Al Capone. The North Side Gang had been encroaching on Capone's lucrative territories, leading to a series of tit-for-tat killings and attacks that bloodied the streets of Chicago. The setup for the massacre was meticulous and deceitful. Capone's men, dressed as police officers to lower the guard of their targets, entered a garage on North Clark Street, where members of the North Side Gang were gathering. Believing they were under arrest, the 7 men were lined up against a wall. Then, without mercy, the faux officers opened fire with a hail of bullets from their Thompson submachine guns and shotguns. The execution-style killings were a message: Capone would not tolerate any challenge to his dominion over Chicago's underworld. The massacre shocked the nation, not only because of its brutal nature but also because it demonstrated the extent of gang power and corruption in Prohibition-era America. Despite the public outcry and the evidence left at the scene, Capone was never officially linked to the crime, and the murders went officially unsolved. This event marked a turning point in public opinion, leading to increased law enforcement efforts to bring down Capone and his ilk, eventually culminating in Capone's arrest for tax evasion. The Valentine's Day Massacre stands as a bloody symbol of the lawlessness of the time and the lengths to which mobsters would go to protect their empires. The Valentine's Day Killer, a senseless tragedy. The shooting at Trolley Square Mall on Valentine's Day in 2007 by Sulejman Talovic, a young Bosnian immigrant, left a community in mourning and a nation asking why. With no criminal record and no clear motive, Talovic's actions were perplexing and horrifying. Armed with legally purchased weapons, he embarked on a deadly spree that ended the lives of 5 innocent people and injured 4 others. The victims, who ranged in age and background, were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, their lives cut short by a senseless act of violence. The swift response by local law enforcement ended the rampage, but the scars left on the community linger. Investigations into Talovic's past revealed a troubled young man who had witnessed the horrors of war in his homeland, yet there was no clear explanation for his actions that day. This event reignited debates over gun control laws, the effects of trauma on young refugees, and the measures needed to prevent such tragedies in the future. The Trolley Square shooting is a somber reminder of the unpredictability of violence and the human cost of inaction on issues of mental health and gun control. It forces us to confront the reality that tragedy can strike anywhere, even in places of joy and celebration like a shopping mall on Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day Stalker, Obsession and Tragedy. The murder of Ryan Poston by his ex-girlfriend, Shayna Hubers, on what was supposed to be a promising Valentine's Day date, is a chilling tale of obsession, jealousy, and violence. Poston, a successful young lawyer, found himself the target of Hubers' relentless stalking after their breakup. Despite his attempts to move on, Hubers inundated him with messages and unwelcome visits, a classic sign of a toxic obsession that would ultimately lead to tragedy. Hubers' claim of self-defense was starkly contradicted by the evidence, including the multiple gunshot wounds inflicted on Poston, which indicated a level of premeditation and malice. Her callous remarks after the murder, coupled with her immediate confession to the 911 operator, painted a picture of someone disconnected from the gravity of her actions. The trial that followed was a media sensation, highlighting issues of domestic violence, stalking, and the fine line between love and obsession. Hubers' conviction and life sentence served as cold comfort to Poston's grieving family and friends, who were left to wonder how the legal system could better protect victims from such relentless harassment before it escalates to violence. The story of Ryan Poston and Shayna Hubers is a tragic reminder of the dangers of stalking and the importance of recognizing and addressing signs of obsessive behavior before it's too late. It also underscores the need for a legal system that can more effectively protect victims and prevent such needless loss of life.